and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back for another video. I hope that you're all doing good. If it is your first time to be my channel, please subscribe and turn on the bell icon that will appear after subscribing the channel. And after doing that, you'll be the first one to get all the latest news about Kaizer Chiefs that you are providing each and every day. Coast Nation fans, here this is where all Coast Nation fans meet and talk about Kaizer Chiefs. So here we are just discussing everything that is happening at Nature Arena. And for those of you, if you're here, you may now join us by subscribing the channel. Remember to turn on the bell icon. That will appear after subscribing the channel, and after doing that, you will be the first one to get all the latest news about Kaizer Chiefs that you are providing each and every day. Coast Nation fans, today I have some news that I want to share with you in this video. So what you need to know right now, please stay here and watch the video until the end. And without wasting your time, now let's dive into the story and talk about Kaizer Chiefs. As the new season begins, and Kaizer Chiefs management are currently working very seriously behind the scene as the club continues its preparation for this new season that has been official begins. And as you know, in this PSL transfer window that continues, Kaizer Chiefs until now have signed several players from different clubs across the African continent, recruiting PSL clubs to boost their squad. Is a club aiming to do the different things that they have done all the previous season in both domestic and continental football. Despite Kaizer Chiefs signing several players from different clubs across the African continent, it doesn't mean that they have done in the signing the players. It seems like they are not done in signing new players in this current transfer window, because there is a lot of speculation circulating on social media and involving Kaizer Chiefs to be interested in several players from different clubs across the African continent, including PSL clubs. But in today's video, we're going to talk about among the players who previously reported to be linked with a move to Kaizer Chiefs. Now, as the PSL transfer window continues, Kaizer Chiefs continue its preparation for this new season that has been official begins. But one name, is reportedly to be elected the move to Nature Arena. It is all about Ibrahim Barnes. Ibrahim Barnes finally agreed to leave Marumo Garansi as a midfielder becomes a free agent. Marumo Garansi midfielder Ibrahim Barnes is official free to sign for a club of his choice after finally receiving a clearance following a contractual dispute that adds uncertainty over his immediate future. The Burkinabe international had found himself in limbo after the expiry of his initial one-year contract with Marumo Garansi, while the club believed it had the right to extend his stay by exercising an options in the agreement. The situation became the subject of a contractual disagreements, preventing Barnes from freely negotiating with other clubs. Now, with the dispute resolved and the necessary clearance granted, the talented midfielder is once again in control of his future and can begin discussions with interested clubs as a free agent. For weeks, Ibrahim Barnes' future remained one of the more intriguing and resolved stories involving the Battle Premiership transfer market. Although his contract had reached its conclusion, uncertainty surrounded whether he would remain at Marumo Garansi or be allowed to move elsewhere. The disagreement centered on the club's attempted to activate an option that would have extended his stay beyond the original deal. However, the matter ultimately required a clarifications before Barnes' status could be officially determined. The resolution now means the midfielder is no longer contractually tied to Garansi, opening the door for a fresh chapter in his career. For any professional footballers, a prolonged contractual uncertainty can be frustrating. It often limits opportunities during a busy transfer window is interested clubs are reluctant to enter negotiation until a player's legal status is completely clear. Fortunately for Ibrahim Baz, that uncertainty has now been removed. Since arriving at Malumo Galaxy, Ibrahim Baz established himself as an important member of the squad through his consistent performances in midfield, known for his physical presence, relentless work rate, and ability to break up opposition's attacks. The Burkinabe international quickly adapted to the demands of South Africa's football. His energy allowed him to cover large areas of the pitch, while his tactical awareness helped him protect the defense and initiate attacking moves. His performances earned the praise from supporters and observers alike, with many viewing him as one of Malumogara's most dependable midfielders during his time at the club. Whether deployed as a defensive midfielder or in a more central role, Bass demonstrated the versatility that made him valuable to the coaching staff through the campaign. Ibrahim Banzi also brings international experience through his involvement with Burkina Faso in an additional quality that could increase his appeal to a prospective clubs. Representing one's national team requires consistency and composure at the highest level, and players with international exposure are often high so after because they have experience dealing with pleasure at high level competition. That experience could prove beneficial for any side looking to strengthen its midfield with a player capable of competing in demanding matches. Now that is now that his contractual situation has been resolved, attention is expected to shift towards identifying his next destinations. Free agents often become attractive options during transfer windows because clubs do not need to negotiate transfer fees. Instead, interested teams can focus on agreeing personal terms with the player and his representatives. Given Barnes' experience in the Betway Premiership and his proven ability to compete consistently at the highest level in South African football, it will not be surprising if several clubs begins monitoring his availability. Midfield remains one of the most important areas for any team, and players who can provide defensive stability while also contributing in possession are always in demand. His profile fits the requirements of the club, seeing balance, physicality, and technical discipline in the center of the park. So what this means for Malumo Gallants? For Malumo Gallants, the outcome means they will have to continue planning without one of the midfielders who featured prominently during his spell at the club. Losing an experienced player is never ideal, particularly one capable of influencing game both defensively and offensively. The coaching staff will now have to identify a suitable replacement or looking within the current squad to fill the gap left by Barnes' departure. The club will also hope to avoid a similar contractual dispute in the future as a prolonged uncertainty can affect both squad planning and transfer business. For Ibrahim Barnes himself, the timing could hardly be better. With the clubs still active in the transfer market, he now the opportunity to carefully evaluate his options before deciding on the next step in his career. Whether he remains in South Africa or pursue an opportunity abroad, the midfielder now has the freedom to choose the project that best suits his ambitions. His combination athleticism, a ball-winning ability, composure and position, and international experience make him an appealing option for teams looking to reinforce their midfield. As the transfer activity continues, it is expected that interest in the Burkinabe international will increase, with a clubs eager to take advantage of the opportunity to sign an experienced midfielder without paying a transfer fee. This is all about Ibrahim Bass's situation. Admiring the move to Nature Arena, but when you look ahead, a conclusion of Ibrahim Bass, a contract dispute brings an end of weeks of uncertainty and arose one of the better premierships respected midfielders to move forward with his career. After successfully obtaining a clearance, the Buknabe International is official, available on the market and free to negotiate with any interested club. His next destination remains unknown, but what is certain is that Barnes' availability will not go unnoticed. Teams seeking quality, experience, and reliability in midfield now have the chance to secure his signature, and the coming weeks could prove decisive in determining where the talented midfielder continues his career. For now, Ibrahim Bass can finally put the contractual saga behind him and focus entirely on a football with a new challenge waiting on the horizon. Drop a thought in the comment below. Don't forget to like the video to show the face because they are also want to know what is going on now at the arena.